Hello! Welcome to Brain Spill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and come with me as I whisk you away on a journey to the distant land of useless facts and knowledge. But first, let me just, there we go. Yo ho ho ho, a pirate's life for me, except if you flight sim labs. I'm pretty sure I wrote the script to this Brain Spill episode about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I completely forgot that scene was meant to have rum in it. I didn't have any rum, so I've just had to settle for some beer instead. But I will find any excuse to get a prop in the video where I can just basically drink for the entire time. Drink like a pirate, they say. Shiver me malware. So, some context behind this video. This is a game called Flight Simulator X, your standard flight sim game. This multi-award winning game is the 10th title in this series of flight sims. Famed for its realism and attention to detail, people can take to the skies in a variety of plane models and travel around the world. Look, I'm going to be straight with you, these types of games have never really been the type of thing that's been up my street. However, I can certainly understand the appeal that these flight sim series can have. That's not to say that I haven't had my fair share of fun with these games, however. I remember one time where I sat for about 3 hours and watched my brother play Truck Simulator, trying to convince him to go the wrong way down the road. It was pretty funny. As a matter of fact, I have played a flight sim once myself before. I can't remember the name of the title, but all I do remember was I was in the air when it started and I had to successfully land on the ground. Too bad I didn't know which button was the landing gear, so as you can probably imagine, things didn't end well. This is a hugely successful title, and due to the longevity of the game, no wonder other game developers want to make additional planes to add to the game, mods to add onto it. One such example is a company called Flight Sim Labs. One particular add-on from Flight Sim Labs was a full recreation of the Airbus A320X, which was released in February 2018. Ooh, shiny. The problem with this, however, was that when users tried to install it onto their computers, it for some reason started triggering antivirus software. Strange. It might just be a bit of an issue. It might not have realised that you intended to download this. It wasn't a malicious program, right? I mean, when you think about it, there shouldn't really be anything to worry about. I mean, they are a reputable company and you wouldn't think that they would intentionally put malware on your computer. Well, it eventually came to light that, yes, Flight Sim Labs were shipping their add-ons with malware. Yeah, you know that thing that you buy software for in order to try and prevent? Yeah, they intentionally ship that to customers. When I first read the article on this, it actually blew my mind and it surprised me how they thought they could even get away with this. Like, it's crazy just to think about. Flight Sim Labs isn't just a one-man band making mods in a basement. They are a legitimate company. Well, I thought they were anyway, but here we are. A Reddit user whose antivirus software was being flagged because of this decided to investigate a little bit into the installer just out of curiosity, and he posted the following to show his findings. On the Flight Sim subreddit, he said, "There seems to be a file called test.exe included. This .exe file is touted as a Chrome password dump tool, which seems to work, particularly as the installer would typically run with administrative rights, UAC prompts, on Windows Vista and above." What he means by this was that the installer packaged with this add-on was, for some reason, extracting users' Google Chrome passwords and taking it without any permission, just scraping valuable passwords. Like I said, it's crazy thinking about, and I don't think I need to explain to you why that's a bad thing. But why? Well, Flight Sim Labs must have caught wind of this Reddit thread pretty quickly because their head, Lefteris Calamaris, responded to the post and said the following. First of all, there are no tools used to reveal any sensitive information of any customer who has legitimately purchased our products. The word legitimately is the key point here, because what he's just admitted here is saying that there is software embedded that does this, but if you have legitimately purchased the game, it won't trigger. Theoretically. Test.exe is part of the DRM, he said, and is only targeted against specific pirated copies of the copyrighted software obtained illegally. Now you understand why I'm making pirate jokes and drinking beer. To be fair, I probably should have explained that at the start of the video, but... Anyway, he went on and said, if such a specific serial number is used by a pirate, a person who has illegally obtained our software, and the installer verifies this against the pirate serial numbers stored in our server database, it takes specific measures to alert us. That program is only extracted temporarily and is never, under any circumstances, used in legitimate copies of the product. The only reason why this file would be detected after the installation completes is only if it was used with a pirate serial number, not blacklisted numbers. This method has actually successfully provided information that we're going to use in our ongoing legal battles against such criminals. Go on. We will be happy to provide further information to ensure that no customer feels threatened by our security measures. We assure you that there is nothing in our products that would ever damage the trust you have placed in our company by being our customer. As you might imagine, this post led to many customers feeling like their relationship with Flight Sim Labs had been damaged. So their defense is the fact that if you have legitimately purchased the game, you don't have anything to worry about. But that doesn't really solve the problem here, because many people are getting flags and warnings before they get this program installed by their antivirus programs. And just the fact that they have the tools to do this and taking their word for it isn't really enough. As you might imagine, not many people were really that convinced or happy for the reasons given by Flight Sim Labs, and really felt like it was a step too far. The post by Calamaris even went on to imply that the person that had originally posted this thread was not a customer of theirs, and the reason they were having these issues was likely because they pirated the game. By saying this Reddit user is the kind of person that they're wanting to keep tabs on really implied that they thought that this person had indeed pirated the game. My first thought was, if they are indeed scraping passwords, surely they know if this guy was pirating the game? Shortly after this, and following some well-deserved criticism, the post was amended by Calamaris, and he said the following. We realise that a few of you were uncomfortable with this particular method, which might be considered to be a bit heavy-handed on our part. The file in question, test.exe, was removed from all future copies of the game. Now, looking at this objectively, I can sort of understand why they wanted to do this. I mean, at the end of the day, they're a business, and if they can't charge people for the products they make, then why would they do it? I mean, there has to be some measures in place to try and stop this sort of piracy behaviour. However, there's a line, and I think they certainly crossed it on this occasion by effectively breaking the law in order to enforce piracy protection. By having such anti-piracy measures in place, I can imagine that they'll probably save a few dollars here and there for people that may have pirated it in the past, have then gone and legitimately purchased a copy of the add-on. No, if you look at the price of it, it costs this much, which is a ton of money. So I can completely understand why they put these measures in place, because if they're making this much money out of each person, who pays that much for an add-on? Is that normal for flight sim games? Someone tell me, please. After careful review of Flight Sim Labs' response to this matter, the original Reddit poster was a little bit dubious, and he commented on the following. I think their official response leaves a lot of information out, and is a blatant attempt at trying to divert attention away from the real issue and back towards piracy. I imagine there would be a lot of issues surrounding them having users' passwords stored on their servers, particularly if the lists included banking details or perhaps work usernames and passwords. Computer code is never 100% perfect, and it would be easy for legitimate customers to be swept under this pirate-only DRM. Following this incident, the dumpster fire had only grown a few months afterwards, with the insertion of a new file into the code of the game called commandhost.exe. This file froze the game when it was booted up, and then it would start to replace the game's code, something which normally couldn't be done without seeking the relevant permissions on the computer first. And as you might imagine, nobody liked that. But an interesting development arose, because Flight Sim Labs, assuming that if they could silence the critics, this whole drama might just go away. What actually happened, in fact, was by doing this, They dug themselves a hole even deeper, and really it kind of just set the course for everything that was going to happen next. Just to make things a little bit worse, Simon Kelsey, the PR and marketing manager at Flight Sim Labs, decided to email some of the moderators on the Flight Sim board of Reddit, and the email read this. Just a gentle reminder of Reddit's obligations as a publisher in order to ensure that any libelous content is taken down as soon as you become aware of it. Libel law requires that such opinions are grounded in fact, and the burden of proof lies with the defendant. I would hate for lawyers to have to get involved in this, but I trust that you'll take the appropriate steps to ensure that there is no such libels are posted. The email does go into a lot more detail, but essentially what they say is, remove the posts or we're going to sue you. So, what did the big dick mods do about this? They made an open letter to Flight Sim Labs, and then posted it to the subreddit for everyone to see. This open letter to Flight Sim Labs effectively slaps down every allegation made against them, and they even decided to make a few threats of their own. Mainly in violation of Reddit's rules for abuse of the reporting system and also vote manipulation for the silencing of critics. Oh no, no, no. Things have built up quite drastically, and as far as I'm aware, nothing further has happened beyond this, so I guess the ball is now in Flight Sim Labs' court to see if they want to do anything. As in, take them to court. Who will bow down for this game of chicken? Will anybody decide to sue anyone else? Have I been lax with my research and missed something completely obvious? I guess time will only tell. Like I said earlier in the video, this entire premise is just crazy to think about, that a game developer actually thought they could get away with doing this in a game. And really, let this be a lesson learned for game developers who are wanting to put anti-piracy software in their games. It's fine to have, you just have to do it legally and in the right way. If you like the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified as soon as I upload a new video, be sure to hit that bell button. And if you've got any ideas as to what videos you'd like me to discuss next, let me know down in the comments below. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description. Right, time to live out my days as a pirate who flies airliners. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.